Good morning, good evening, or good night to the lovely people watching. In today's video, we'll be speaking about learning to say no and set boundaries. Let's say, just as an example, you're 24 watching my videos, and up until this point, you've lived a life of saying mostly yes and being a people pleaser, and most of the time, people just like you because you do things they want. There will be a point where you realize that, you know, I'm tired of sticking up for everyone else. I'm tired of saying yes all the time, even especially when I don't have the energy or I'm burnt out. So when you start forcing yourself to say no, it's a powerful thing for your mind because then you're starting to set boundaries for yourself and starting to think, hey, I come first. Not you, not him, not her, not my work. I come first. Because I've always been a sort of a person that, I've always said yes to every single opportunity. Hey, do you want to go partying this weekend? Yeah, sure. Even though I'm broke. Find a way, I guess. Hey, do you want to go bowling? Yeah, sure. Then you slowly watch your bank account get drained. You spend money on drinks for people. They don't PayPal you back. And some small stuff like that add up in the long run. So when you start to say no and start to put boundaries, you become a more respectful person for yourself. But the cost is exponential and it's heavy. Not materialistic, not possessions, not anything, but it's going to cost you friends, relationships, and you're going to quickly figure out who is really real and who's fake. I remember I used to be the exact same thing. I used to say yes to everything. When I started to say no, fuck you, and I'm riding this thing my own, and started to prioritize myself, I found quickly out that a lot of these people I used to call friends back in the day are not my friends. I'll give you the best example was when one of my friendship was based on just money. And I knew this guy pretty well and I've seen his living situation and we've spoken a lot about it. But my tipping point was this. I'll give you an example. I remember he used to ask me for like, I don't know, $50 here, $100 there. And I would say, yeah, sure, I know you, bro. If I gave him a call, hey, I need a ride to this place. Yeah, sure, he would have done that. But it is a long story, but I'm just shortening it down for you to get a better understanding when you say no and put boundaries. I remember it was a specific day that I say, hey, you know what, bro? Do you want to hang out this week? It has been a long time. Just grab a glass of whiskey and speak shit about life like we used to. Hey, yeah, sure, man, I'm down. I didn't hear anything from him. But the weekend that I made plans, because I didn't hear anything from him, I went out to grab a glass of beer. The friend of mine. She and I sit at the bar, we're drinking, and then I see that dude over there with another friend of his. And I was thinking, yeah, I know. But I've seen you like 2-3 times this week with different sort of friends. I'm starting to understand the priorities, and I'm not going to be an asshole and call him out about it. I just stop reaching out. When I started to do that, where I stopped reaching out, I quickly realized that the friendship was just based on money. The friendship was just based on shit. You ain't got time for me. And I remember when I was down in a low period, I thought maybe I should call this dude. But it circled around back to money. And I was just, fuck, this is just draining me emotionally. So I just said, fuck it. I'm just giving this up. And then I quickly realized that sort of friend, I cut off. I said no. I put a boundary up where that my friendships are not going to be based on money. It's going to be based on priority and respect. It took me a long time to figure that out. Maybe a little long example, but it gives you like maybe a perspective about, oh, okay, that maybe that sort of friendship is not real. It's just based on possessions, materialistic possessions. I'm going to change the subject a little bit, but it's going to still be about boundary setting and no. When was the last time you actually did something that made you happy, something that was aligned with your goals? I've spoken many times in my videos before. I'm not going to bring myself into this example. I'm just going to ask a simple question. When was actually the last time you thought about yourself? Not this egotistical way, just like, yeah, I'm going to go goose for 2 years and I'm going to become the best version of myself and I'm going to make her regret it. No, that's just self-centric and egotistical, just you wanting validation. I mean more just, when was the last time you did something that you specifically wanted? I do YouTube. Fuck, I wasn't supposed to bring myself into the example, but alright, I guess we're circling around. For example, I do YouTube. I like talking. I used to be a kid growing up. I was camera shy. I hated how I look and I hated putting myself in this sort of frame where just like, yeah, I'm speaking freely or speaking through a script or learning. I always hated it through middle school, junior high, high school, and when I took a year's course, I always hated it. And then I just something clicked in my mind, just, just start YouTube. Just try it. See if it takes off or not. And I just, I actually like this. I like sitting here and just speaking openly minded about my perspective about certain things and maybe giving you some advice that'll help you and slingshot you in the right direction in life. And I found out that was my thing. And that correlates also towards friends and saying no. Because when I started quickly realizing that I'm speaking my opinion on this channel, because this is my channel, I quickly realized that there was a lot of people back when I started this, that when they found out that I had a YouTube channel, I found out there was a lot of them, bro, you just have a YouTube channel? Like, yeah, I started recently because why not? Man, that's funny. And I did some research and digging in that a lot. I did a lot of research on my videos where there's maybe 5 to 10% that are actually watching my videos fully all the way through. And I'm pretty sure the 80% of them, 90% of them, people that I used to be friends in the days, were not my friends because I knew that they were criticizing me behind my back. And I was like, there's a reason they're behind me, because I just don't give a fuck about them. If I were going to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that I maybe have 5 close friends and that's it. Other people that I see, I can communicate and say hello, nothing problem with that. But my social circle is so small that if you had a perspective or a view in my daily life, you would be thinking that this dude's lonely as fuck. But honestly, I wouldn't have it better. Never had it this well in my life because I cut off idiots. I'm living drama-free most of the time and I value my peace because I made a lot of mistakes. But I learned from these mistakes by saying no and setting boundaries. One last thing I want to speak about before we go. You will lose friends and you'll lose relationships. And at the same time, we all will meet our end one day. Death is inevitable. If there's one thing I can never say enough is live a prosperous life and live a full potential life that you want to do. Read books, meditate, and do the stuff that benefits you to the future. Don't wake up every single morning just grabbing your phone and doom scrolling and looking for validation. When you start prioritizing yourself and start to think, yeah, this is what I want to do, and you train like an insane person. Like one of my best examples is that I run shirtless and only shorts and shoes year round. People have seen me. I work with only shorts in the winter time and people called me insane. I've been called a psychopath. People's perspective about me when it comes to me doing my thing, because it's out of the ordinary, because it's not the script that we're being given in life. They think I'm just crazy and just fucking idiot. But when they comment on some things like that, it gives me a perspective like, yeah, I know exactly where you are at. You don't support me. You don't give a shit about me. You only have a negative perspective about me because I'm doing something out of the box. And another thing, Jesus Christ, that when people give you sort of comments, it hurts. I cannot deny that even though we're as humans, we become immune to sort of bullshit throughout the time. But it still hurts at times when someone just, are you walking in shorts? Bro, you're fucking crazy. Get that enough times and your brain will maybe realize it. And you might be thinking that, maybe I should believe it. It was supposed to be in a completely separate video of me explaining how if you let someone get through to your mind with enough comments and let them break you down, it was supposed to be a completely different video, but I might as well throw it in here while I'm at it. Never let someone get to you. Let's say you work in customer service and you see the same people on the same daily basis because, well, they need food. You work in a grocery store, they see you, you're working retail or 9 to 5 just to get some money in order to get by, right? You're doing it for the paycheck because you need to pay rent and stuff. When people see you and you start changing for the better of yourself, but these people just don't like this new version of you. Fuck them. Going back to the setting boundaries point, people will indirectly, or if they have the balls, send you a message and say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this sort of thing? If they don't respect you or they don't support you, cut them off. Simple as that. There's no point in having a sort of person in your life in any way, either a customer or whatever the fuck it is, criticizing you all the damn time. Because if the only thing that they're consistently doing towards you is criticize you and say, this is what you're doing wrong, why you're doing this, and why, blah, 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 blah. It's draining your energy. Because let's say you're an outgoing person, but you're usually drained when you come back home because you're hanging out with these sort of people. Cut them off. Toxic people especially that are doubting you, not supporting you. Fuck them. Let them figure their life on their own. It's like I always say at the end of every single YouTube video, you versus you. Fuck everyone else, but seek guidance when you need it. Every single day it's you versus you. Fuck them haters. Let them hate. Let them use their energy on hating on you. But seek guidance when you need. Seek guidance from people that are ahead of you in the field that you want to seek knowledge in. Now that being said, it's you versus you. Fuck everyone else, for seek guidance when you need. Take care.